One can make mistakes. I thought my views were correct, but it turns out I was wrong. Isn't it that only when we cut off our ignorance and worries can we truly be considered right? That's the standard here. What should we do now? We haven't started addressing our ignorance and worries. On another note, what are we supposed to do now? As beginners, we haven't even started to cut off our ignorance and worries. The only way is to rely on the Buddha. This brings us to the importance of the three refuges. Rely on Dharma, not people. When it comes to teaching the Dharma, you definitely need guidance from a teacher. Without a teacher who knows, you have no one to rely on in Buddhism. There are many sutras. Buddha spoke. If you try to grasp everything without wisdom, you'll be lost. The Buddha talks about emptiness and existence. Is it emptiness or existence? You'll be confused. You can't rely on anything. You are confused. You won't trust anything. He said sutras sometimes make sense, sometimes not. He mentioned the Diamond Sutra. He told me that sometimes the teachings in the sutras make sense and sometimes they don't. So, where does it not make sense? He said, I've read the Diamond Sutra. I asked him, what does the Diamond Sutra say? He replied, it's like pouring 2 buckets of water back and forth. He would say sometimes it's existence and sometimes it's emptiness. So, is it emptiness or existence? That just leaves people in a muddle. So the Buddha said, if there is no one to explain the Dhamma, no one can understand it. And it's not okay to see that he is a famous university professor. It's clear that having a correct political view is tough. Without a proper political perspective, those with wrong views can still undermine the 3 jewels. Even if we are monks, we might still commit this sin, right? Unaware. Are we committing this sin too? Before you know it, they're doing all these things without even realizing it themselves. Always thinking of oneself as the teacher. It's easy to see the faults in others while thinking you're in the right. It's not suitable to charge into a combative situation. Let's take a moment to really think about these 4 sentences and observe the world around us, reflecting on myself. I'm afraid I might have committed that myself. Confidence. Who can truly understand the heart? It's there one moment and gone the next, isn't it? Can't withstand the test. Just a little bit of wind and waves. We've lost our determination on the path. And our faith is gone. Respecting this word is even harder. It all starts from faith. Without faith, how can there be confidence? To the Buddha and Bodhisattvas and to our parents, still not showing respect. How can we respect others, respect things, and respect understanding? It's just not on, is it? So that's how you get this Southeast Ha. So, being able to read these 4 sentences, you need to keep yourself in check. Often keep these 4 sentences in mind. and keep it as your motto right in front of you. Yeah. They said before turning 10, they were in deep trouble. Just before they died, not long ago. I wonder where he's been reborn now. Well, this. They said, Your Majesty would know. I have a rough idea. Which path did it fall on? What kind of person is the mother of the Bodhisattva if she doesn't read classical texts? Then ask your mother again and tell her name. The holy woman replied, my parents are Brahmins. This is considered noble in India. India has had a strict forecast system since ancient times. The most esteemed are the Brahmins. The name is from Luoshan County, Mother Moon of the Earth. Let's hear the names of his parents. That name. They are all good names. Really. Even though the names are good, they don't match up with their actions, do they? It's really not in line. The things they did weren't good, were they? They really don't match up, do they? I don't understand, or perhaps the Bodhisattva said, may the holy ones return to their original place. Ignorance brings about different kinds of sorrow. It's harmless after hearing that. This is actually quite respectful towards the 7 elders. Very respectful. Report to the Florin woman. This is now the report number 4. Please return. It's not worth the worry. The Earth Mother is tough, having been to hell. She has suffered here, and everyone knows her troubles. Why is that? The Earth Mother has been to hell. She has suffered here, and everyone knows her troubles. It's been 3 days now. It's true that he's suffering here, and everyone knows about his situation. It's been 3 days. Just 3 days. He's not here right now. He's suffering here, but he's already ascended to heaven. Then let's send him to heaven day by day. Ming Cheng, a dutiful son, has done great things for his mother. The one who cultivates blessings and practices generosity, the king of liberation, the Tathagata, he is. Yeah, I heard he has a really filial son. The son, you know, he fixed it for him. So he mentioned service. Buddha. Give alms. This is the filial piety that moves heaven and earth. Yeah. It's about sincere filial love. When people move heaven, earth and spirits move. I really want to talk about caring for our parents. Caring for our parents' bodies and nurturing their hearts. What about the intention of caring for our parents? People often say in this world, wanting their sons to be successful and their daughters to excel, that's the wish of parents. They hope their children will have real achievements in the future. Outstanding. But many parents in this world. Evil realms. You haven't attained worldly wealth and status. Yeah, that's what being outstanding is all about. This idea is wrong. So what does it really mean to be truly outstanding? Transcending the ordinary and entering the sacred. Becoming a Buddha or a Bodhisattva. Now that's what you call truly outstanding. All the achievements in this world can't compare. Yeah. No matter what kind of success you have, it can't escape the cycle of the 6 realms of existence. Only by becoming a Buddha or a Bodhisattva can one not only transcend the 6 realms, but also go beyond the 10 Dharma realms. This is the true achievement. Parents who haven't learned Buddhism don't understand this principle and aren't aware of the true facts. Have we come to understand the Buddha's teachings? We need to make it happen. We can't say that just because our parents don't know, we won't do it. Good deeds, kind acts. Even if the letters don't know, once we achieve it, parents will reap great benefits from our good deeds. The mastermind behind the murder, is that even acceptable? So this offering to the Buddha. These 3 forms all exist. From what we've talked about here, blood offerings. This is. We've read about this before. Brahmin woman, chi. Gathering to define the self-sovereign Tathagata king, the self-sovereign Buddha's image, because of his form. The Dharma is the enterprise. The essence of Buddhism, that's his method of practice. After he went back, be courageous and diligent and practice according to the teachings. These repairs. This is giving. Who is the offering for? It's for his mother, the queen. So the tomb he's built is a Dharma offering, not a material one. In the offerings, it's all about the Dharma offerings, practicing according to the teachings. The Buddha is just too great. So the king said, not just for the mother of the Bodhisattva, the hell of suffering, not just for the Bodhisattva, your mother, but to escape from hell. You've escaped suffering. Illness is the unrepentant sinner. The next day, the joy of receiving and the joy of being born together arise. Well, look at the filial son of the Bodhisattva. He received this blessing. He ascended to heaven. Everyone punished in hell with him benefited, sharing his good karma and ascending together. Unaware of the Bodhisattva's mother, think about the merits of generosity. The group of people who were suffering in hell with him all ascended to heaven at the same time. And then think about the incredible merits of generosity. The Brahmin woman. The merits of practicing according to the teachings are truly incredible. Yeah, this is a true fact. Aren't we here to tell a story? This isn't meant to persuade people to do good. This is a fact that you must understand as absolutely true. Achieving through selfless practice. I don't know how many people need to be saved. In Buddhism, we often talk about inconceivable and unimaginable economics. We can understand a little bit from these. The King of Ghosts joined his hands in respect and then withdrew. After the King of Ghosts finished reporting this matter, he just withdrew. The Brahmin woman seeks to return, as if from a dream. It's just like having a dream. But actually, he wasn't dreaming. He was in a state of deep meditation, coming out of a trance from the movie. He didn't know about this matter at all. He asked about it and became completely clear and fully understood it. It's convenient for the Buddha, the King of Liberation, to feel at home in other realms. Standing firm is fierce. Transforming the country to instill respect and fear among the most suffering beings. Broaden your knowledge and skills, and write according to the time and place. This is when Kitagaba Bodhisattva first developed his aspirations in the causal ground. It's the first time setting my heart on learning Buddhism. He is a great elder. Seeing the image of the Buddha. Discovery. This is something I've repeatedly reminded my classmates about. The image needs to be good. I often think about how we are disciples of the Tathagata, especially disciples of Amitabha. Amitabha. He is the light and the revered one, the king among Buddhas. How can we bring shame to Amitabha Buddha? If we have an unwholesome thought in our hearts, then I'm really sorry, Amitabha Buddha. If we do something unwholesome, we accumulate heavy karma. How can we even call ourselves students of Amitabha Buddha? Is this what a student of Amitabha Buddha looks like? To truly be a good student of Amitabha Buddha, you must definitely follow the teachings and put them into practice. Why do we say you should recite the teachings every day? Reciting the teachings every day means remembering Amitabha Buddha's lessons for you every single day. As taught, following Buddhism's advice, the Buddha follower. Are we still doing the things that Buddhism tells us not to do? To truly be a genuine student of Amitabha Buddha. In this life, you are definitely destined to be born in the Pure Land. Right here in this world. If people don't respect you, it's no wonder. They're just ordinary folks with ordinary eyes, you know. If he doesn't even respect the Buddha, how could he possibly respect you? But you also know. Blessings. All the Buddhas, all remember to praise them. The dragon, ghosts, and saints, they all deserve respect. what about these people? Aren't he ye? Through his mind-reading ability. Like the heavenly beings, with their clairvoyance, they can see your good intentions. They know your thoughts and intentions. Repeatedly, I don't know. Repeated ignorance. The Bodhisattva is here in this place. Repeated ignorance. The Bodhisattva is here in this place. Teach us the courts. Set an example for us to say. This month is the 4 Red October. May I be in awe of the fact that there is no purpose in time for several episodes to come. Eternal. It's not that I have to spend a lot of time to complete this task. I want to do 1 session, 10 sessions, 100 sessions, 1,000 sessions. The future is endless. Just keep being proactive. So, helping those who are suffering the most doesn't have to be a strict requirement. There should be compassion for the suffering beings. Do not hold grudges against those close to you. As long as we see beings who are suffering and in distress, he just lets go of convenience. If it is optical instant noodles, it involves the following 3 aggregates. If we remain troubled by our afflictions and don't learn the Dharma, how can we help others? Cutting off afflictions, learning the Dharma, and walking to enlightenment is about preventing suffering. If we keep being troubled by our own afflictions and don't learn the Dharma, what method do we have to help others? Bodhisattvas act. A bodhisattva cuts off afflictions and learns the Dharma, not for themselves, but for all the most suffering beings. Even the path to Buddhahood is not for oneself. Let's take a look at these creations from the Book of Songs. Beings with extremely heavy karmic burdens. We need to have this aspiration, you know. Everything I'm working on today is for them, not for oneself. For ourselves, we can be a bit careless, a bit casual, seeing all beings suffering from the accumulated karma. We can't afford to be a bit slack. We can't have a vague heart at all. Why is it important to help these suffering beings? Take everything seriously. Everything needs to be done with courage and diligence. So you want to ask me if my own practice is successful, right? Can I help others? This scripture is right here. The Brahmin woman practices alone, you know. One person's achievement not only helps her mother, but also alleviates the suffering of her mother and others. This part. All those beings suffering in hell have ascended to heaven. Isn't this the truth laid out right here? What other doubts do we have? When one person achieves enlightenment, they can help countless beings. What's scary is that you haven't achieved anything yourself. Duanmu, doing it like this isn't right. How can this help anyone? You really have to get down to it and do it yourself. To put it in worldly terms, we propose are for goods. Have a good heart. Do good deeds. Speak good words. Be a good person. Over the years, we've been all over the world. Promoting it is good. Set a good example for the community. Let the community see this kind of example. Isn't the first part of the management about the elder's son? The image that the Buddha has manifested. Image. Let the community come into contact with this image and have some insights. That's what can touch people. This is about helping sentient beings. He's awakened, he's turned back. Is learning from you. Learn from the Buddha's teachings. This person needs help. The person who needs help. It's bound to gradually lead to more and more awakenings. Heal, encourage those around him, his relatives, friends, neighbors, and community. Isn't this impact significant? You see, you definitely can't think that my practice alone is of no use. The scriptures tell us that an individual's practice can produce incredible effects. The most important thing about this first average is what's behind it. Kitigaba Bodhisattva sets an example. It teaches us to discover Speaking of Manjushri, he is the king of ghosts. The Bodhisattva of wealth is the first among bodhisattvas. The king of ghosts is now the Bodhisattva of wealth. This refers to the countless debts from the past that have now been fulfilled. Ghost king, now wealth bodhisattva. Brahmin woman, now Kitigaba. About causes. The Brahmin woman from back then is now Kitigaba Bodhisattva. This is talking about the story of the causes and conditions from countless realms. A calm and peaceful heart. The Kitigaba Bodhisattva's Fundamental Vows Sutra. The manifestations are indeed countless. But rather, hundreds of thousands of millions. Inconceivable and unimaginable, unmeasurable and uncountable. Countless worlds arise. All the hells are manifestations of Kitigaba Bodhisattva. Together, they are in the peach and plum heavenly palace. This passage, have you all noticed? Where is his true essence? To make Shakyamuni Buddha in escaping heavenly palace. All right, this time It's about the Dharma assembly. The world's in all directions. All the Buddhas, Tathagata Bodhisattvas. When the crowd gathers, the world-honored one and Manjushri Bodhisattva keep asking and answering more and more. When summarizing this paragraph, the number we see below is truly astronomical. I've got a way to calculate it. Hundreds of thousands of millions. Inconceivable. It can't be done. It's unmeasurable and uncountable. Next is the boundless world of Asampya. The world is unbeatable, It's the endless beings. All regions are divided by the obstacles of birth. Aquanian Mountain's golden Ksitigaba is also a manifestation of that idea. Countless manifestations, this is just one of them. So, coming here is about escaping from the sky. Everyone needs to understand. What does this explain? The people in the world who create karma and end up in hell, Don't you know the manifestations